Hello, everyone. Welcome to High Vibes and a Mic. We are your hosts, Sylvia Madden and Veronique Anenter, moms in our 40s and 50s with lots of great spiritual insights and funny stories to light up your day. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hi everyone, we're back for a podcast. This is Veronique and Sylvia. Hi Sylvia.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
And today we have our first international, be careful, international guest from Europe. Ooh. So,
California. I live in Portugal.
it's in Europe, right? So let me introduce to you my friend Jessica. Hi Jessica.
Hi. Nice to
How are
be here.
you?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. We're very happy to have you. So, Jessica and I used to work together a long time ago in the tech industry in the Bay Area. She used to live in America before, and now she's living in Portugal. Where in Portugal? Where do you live?
Algarve. So southern Portugal. Yeah, where all the beaches are at and stuff.
Yes, I see
nice.
your picture all the time. I'm so jealous. It looks fabulous. We have to come visit. I swear, we
Yeah.
have to go.
I
because-
honestly, I feel like it's like California. I feel like it's the California of Europe because it's by the coast. It's even got the same shape almost. And then you
Mhm.
have San Francisco that's very much like Lisbon with the trolleys and the big city and everything is so close and the windy
Okay.
roads. And then
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
where I am is literally, because it's southern Portugal, is just like SoCal, full of
Oh.
beaches, summer, it's touristy. Yeah. It's,
Okay, nice.
Nice.
Now I want to go. So
I know.
Jessica is Brazilian, so she really have to go.
I know,
one
right?
day.
Just
it's here now too.
said another Brazilian there. Yeah, but then I'll come back. I just not gonna stay. But yeah, I know a lot of Brazilians there in Portugal now. So
Oh, yeah.
I was saying there's
Yeah. My
Yeah.
mom is going for a birthday with my brother in 2 weeks. They're going to a spa, and a hotel and spa, and they're going to Lisbon, and she's really excited. She's going to visit, Lisbon and everything. So yeah, good spot to go.
I hope she has fun. I'm sure she will.
Oh, she will. She will. So today we have Jessica because Jessica is a. So introduce yourself, Jessica. Who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I? Well,
Yeah. Who are you?
there's so many layers to that.
I know.
So physically, I was born as Jessica.
Yes. Okay.
Jessica, and I am originally from California, like Veronique said. And I'm married. Well, soon to be, not so married.
I don't know that, but you're married soon, not to be married. Okay.
Have a daughter, and I was born and raised in California, and I now live in Portugal because I am Portuguese. We've always wanted to live in Portugal, where we came from, our roots and whatnot.
Nice.
So I've been living here. December will make 6 years that I moved out here.
Oh, time flies.
And, yeah, time does fly. It's crazy.
Yeah, time flies.
And and I'm a spiritual coach, so I'm a twin flame and spiritual coach. So I teach about spirituality, but primarily twin flame relationships, which is a very, very divine spiritual relationship. It is the most spiritual relationship you can have with somebody.
Okay.
And so after meeting my twin flame, I went in the rabbit hole of finding out what it was, became spiritually woken up, and now I'm teaching other twin flames how to navigate the journey and what it's all about. And I love my job. I love what I do. So I'm just trying to help people. I mean, I've always been spiritual, right? Since I was a little girl, I've always been spiritual, had various spiritual awakenings, but with the twin flame, it awakens you on a deeper level. So now I'm like really fulfilling my mission and helping people. So I'm doing what I
Okay.
was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see that you love your job because I can, I look at I watch your videos and I follow you on TikTok, and you can see, in your eyes, you're really animated, and you really, and you would tell people, when you give, sometimes you give advice and you're like, I'm not saying that because I want to take your money, or I want you, to ask for a concession or anything. I'm telling you because this is true. This is what I believe. So I can feel, that you really believe, what you're saying. That's for sure. So personally, so I've known you 20 years, and I used to follow you, on Facebook or on your guided space, right? That's your website,
Yeah,
guided space. And you used to write about a lot of things that I really like. You do spiritual things,
right.
and you had a lot of videos on dance. You love to dance. Let's
Yeah,
say,
that's another thing. Yeah, so yeah,
yeah,
that's the thing. So I this is why I say there's so many layers to me, because
yes,
I grew up in an environment of entertainment, right? So because
Mhm.
my parents sing, and I actually kind of feel like my parents are twin flames, but that's a whole nother topic. And and so my parents sing, so I grew up with that, so I grew up singing, I grew up on stage,
yes,
performing, dancing. That was like, I felt like I was going to be famous in the arts industry
hmm
as I got
hmm
older, but I knew that that was not I knew that it was a very toxic industry and that I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I was like, I know I'm going to be big somehow.
yeah,
you
yes,
you just know, like, from your soul.
hmm
Mhm.
Like, I know
hmm
I'm here for a big mission. I don't know what it is, but it's something big. Like, I feel like I'm going to impact people's lives. So
okay,
growing up, I thought that it was going to be in the entertainment industry, like acting and making a difference in the world. Like, oh, I want to be famous so that I can make enough money and help the poor. That was literally my mission as a
hmm
kid.
that's
I
nice.
dead serious, but of course
Wow.
it didn't work out. God had other
Yeah,
plans for me.
it's such a competitive also environment,
It's just so
entertaining,
toxic in the
and it's
industry.
toxic.
It
I
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I
especially as
didn't
a
make.
child. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I
yeah.
did things in the arts. Like I was on Broadway. I was an extra in a movie. I got to do different things in the industry. But
Industry,
I
yeah,
didn't. I'm glad I didn't go far to where it became toxic and.
yeah.
Mhm.
So for me, I follow, that little part of your life, okay? Stay in contact, on Facebook and everything. And one day I'm on TikTok, and I see all about these twin flames. So I'm like, what is this? So, I
Yes, I
texted you,
want to
what
know
is this?
too,
We want to
because
know.
I have no
So,
idea.
okay, what's a twin flame?
So a twin flame. I mean, it's hard. How much time do we have, by the way?
We have the time of the world. If we don't have the time, we do a part two. What's a
Yeah.
twin flame?
A twin flame is essentially, like, it's hard to explain to someone who's not on a twin flame journey,
hmm
because it sounds so out of this world when you try to explain it, because it's spiritual. And
hmm
so the definition of it would be like, oh, it's a soul split in half into two bodies, and people are like,
Mhm.
Okay.
what? Like, I
Uh-huh.
remember when I thought I was on a twin flame journey many years ago. I thought I met somebody who was my twin flame, and I heard about it, but that definition didn't hit me right. Like, it didn't feel right because it wasn't my real twin flame. So
Okay.
only when it's your true twin flame that you're like, yes, and I have zero doubt, this is my twin flame. So essentially,
Mm.
it's somebody that awakens your soul. So when you meet this person, you have like just instant shock and recognition. So, for example, in my case, I met my twin in 2009, but nothing happened between us. We didn't date, nothing, right? And it
hmm
wasn't until we reconnected 13 years later, so last year.
hmm
And upon like reconnecting, I was like, oh, I wonder whatever happened to him. We were old friends or whatever ish, right? Online. And
Yeah.
then seeing his photo, I was like, it was like yeah, I've never had
Mm.
that in my life.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I've always been kind of boy crazy, but I'd be like, oh, damn, he's cute, right? But that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him, I was just like, and my heart literally felt like it dropped to my stomach.
So
And
wait, because you saw him again in a picture, like on Facebook or something like that,
just
you
a
saw
picture,
him.
just a picture.
But did you have this impression when the first time you met him? as a friend? Did
That's
you
the
have
thing
this?
is I don't remember. I remember thinking he
Oh.
was very cute, but I
Mm-hmm.
was also distracted because I was dating another guy. I was 24 years old. You know,
Yeah.
like I was dating somebody else. I'm trying to have fun. I met him on the island where he was stationed, and I wasn't trying to like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, do anything like have anything serious with him because I was too distracted with whatever like drama was going on in my life at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then upon reconnecting with him, I was just like, oh, I wonder what happened to him. I was watching Purple Hearts and I thought of like the military guys that I liked. He was one of them. And I saw and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
That
shocks.
uniform.
It is, yeah, uniform. So
Yeah.
it essentially shocks you to your core.
Okay.
And obviously everybody has a different experience. Some people don't get that instant shock right away, but it's kind of like in the eyes that they see each other. They're like, what is that? What,
Mm-hmm.
and it stops them, kind of like what happened to me. And so then afterwards there's the bubble phase where you're talking and you're getting to know one another and it's like super intense and passionate and people feel so comfortable talking to their twin flame. It's very like they feel at home with them and they start talking and talking and talk. We call it word vomit. So we like just spill out everything because
Mm-hmm.
we feel so comfortable talking to that person. But then what happens is it shocks the divine masculine. So and divine masculine, divine feminine is not based on gender, but it's
Okay.
based on like who has the more masculine energy and who runs. That would be the divine masculine.
Okay.
So in this little bubble phase, it shocks the divine masculine to run away. So they usually block you or they run or they ghost. Yeah. It
Really?
sounds
So
almost
it's
kind
not immediate for both of you
no,
at the same
because
time.
here's why. Because it has to make the divine feminine wake up and focus on herself and
Mm-hmm.
like tap into her spirituality. And this is why I say this is the most divine spiritual connection you can ever have with someone. And you can only have this with one person because they're literally your other half. So you know how people say like,
Oh,
oh, I found my other half, or
my
I found
other
my,
half, yeah.
we
Mm-hmm.
actually have many soulmates. So your twin flame is literally your other half. And this is why sometimes we say like, oh, he's like the guy version of me. She's the girl version of me. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it feels like. It feels like you, but in another body. And it shocks you to your core because you're literally meeting your other half. And so
Mm.
when you have this love bubble phase and you're talking usually on average for 6 to 7 weeks, the divine masculine at some point gets activated because he gets so scared of the intensity of where it's going. So he runs for the hills.
Like old
Mm-hmm.
man.
I know.
Always running.
Like on a 3D logical mind, you're kind of like, what the hell? Like, why would he run away from me? Like, you were saying this and you were acting like you liked me. But a lot of women or a lot of divine feminines will go through this because it's their ego.
Mm.
Their ego is being shattered. Their ego is being so shattered. And so what happens is that then the divine masculine running away makes the divine feminine go through what's called dark night of the soul,
Yeah, I
which
was
is
going to ask about that. Yeah. So what is Dark Night of the Soul?
dark
Yeah.
night of the soul is literally hell. It is your darkest. Yeah, this is why I say like people always say, "Oh, I want to meet my twin flame," but they don't realize the
Mm-hmm.
process that you can meet your twin flame, but you're going to go through hell and back to get to where you need to be in union with your twin flame because it's not as easy as a soulmate.
Okay. So
No.
only one person is getting the Dark Night of the Soul. Why is the other one
No, no, no,
doesn't is
no,
not in
no,
that
no.
hell?
Both people go through it.
Both
The
people.
divine,
Okay.
yeah. So the divine feminine goes through it first. Because it shocks the divine, or I shouldn't say she, because sometimes it could be a man. But
Mm-hmm.
the divine feminine has to go through dark night of the soul to work on themselves, to have that self love, to be spiritually awakened, to connect with God, to connect basically with their higher self, to become the best version of themselves. Okay.
Okay.
Once
Mm-hmm.
they're like in alignment with themselves, this then triggers the divine masculine to also go through dark night of the soul. And
Mm-hmm.
here's where it gets a little tricky. Sometimes the divine masculine goes through it around the same time the divine feminine does, right? But
Okay.
usually
Mm-hmm.
it's much later. Usually it's later. Sometimes, like, I felt like my divine masculine was kind of going through it 2 months after, only because I could feel his energy. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was fine, and suddenly I could feel that he was crying.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
because you can
that's
feel
really your other part. Oh, wow.
what's that?
That's really your other part, right? So another part of
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
You
because
can
you can
feel it.
feel them telepathically. So I would always like, I was meditating every single day as soon as I knew, like, well, even before I knew that he was my twin, but I was doing the work. I was spiritually just waking up and just like, and I had no idea. Then I found out about twin flames and I'm like, okay, cool. I
Mm-hmm.
kept meditating. And then suddenly I put my hands on my heart and I'm feeling like crying emotions, but they're not my emotions. And I'm like, wait a minute,
Mm.
this isn't me. So this was happening quite frequently. So I feel like it was him, but it's possible that he may be going through it right now or, went through it months later. So usually they say that they'll go through it like 6 months after you've been activated, but everyone's journey is different. Yeah.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is so
It's a
interesting.
lot. It's a lot to unpack. I
Wow.
know.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot to unpack, so for sure. Sylvia?
Yeah, so does it only have to be as a romantic relationship, or you could have a twin flame that is not, that is like your friend? No, it's
No,
always romantic.
it's always
Yeah.
romantic because that to me it's always romantic. I know there's people out there that say, "Oh, it can be your sister, it can be your friend." I'm like, "No." Because
Mm.
sparks it is the fire, is the sexual chemistry. It is
Oh, I
the
see.
chemistry that you have to go through
Mm.
that love bubble phase, right? Where you're just like, whoa, what is this? Like, I want you, I like you, like I can't get enough of you, right? Like that's how it feels. And so for it to be platonic, it would be pointless. That would be a soulmate. So most of our
Okay.
soulmates are actually platonic. Most of
Mm-hmm.
the husbands, the people that we marry, and have a very long-term relationship with, that is the soulmate. It could be karmic as well. That's another uh,
Mm-hmm.
category. But karmics are more like lessons, very tough lessons, relationships that are tough lessons. And a lot of people will confuse karmics with twin flames because um, the separation phases with twin flames, because they come in and out of our lives. Karmics can do the same thing, right? It's so
Mm-hmm.
toxic that they go in and out, in and out, in and
Yeah.
out. So people are like, "Oh, we're going through a separation phase. Oh, we're back together. Oh, we're separate." No,
Mm-hmm.
that's a karmic when it's like, especially when it's really they're so toxic to one another.
Okay,
But
because I was thinking about somebody and I was like, was that my twin flames? But I think it was more, I think it was more, what is it?
Karmic.
karmic,
Karmic?
Karmic.
Karmic,
karmic,
like karma?
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
karmic. It's basically karmic lessons that you have to learn to. Basically, your karmic. You have. We tend to have a karmic that teaches us self love, and this is
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of people confuse it with the twin flame, because the twin flame does that too. But like, I had a karmic that I had absolutely zero self-love, okay? Even
Yeah.
though
Yes.
I was like, "No, I'm pretty," but yet I feel like shit. This man is making me feel like and he was really nice to me, but I
Yeah. Mine
I didn't
wasn't.
I didn't know my worth. I didn't have enough self-love. What did you say?
I said mine wasn't. It wasn't nice. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
most
was. Oh my God.
Most karmics are not nice, but I've been lucky too, where I had pretty good men in my life. Like, they were like, I've remained friends with most of my exes, most of them, not all. But no, because I just thought
Mm-hmm.
about one and I was like,
Uh-uh. I think the key word in there is always, you know what you're worth. Because
exactly.
unfortunately, I mean, in your 20s, you don't really know what you're worth,
Oh, yeah.
No,
and you can get
it's
jerked forever. And yeah, you really have to. And when you know what you're worth, you're like, oh, I'm not going to take that shit anymore from you. I'm
and
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
that's why on the twin flame journey, the divine feminine ends up knowing their worth after, after they're doing the work,
Okay.
and they won't put up with any breadcrumbs. It's they know they're worth so much, and I think that's kind of what scares the divine masculine too, because
Mm-hmm.
they know the divine feminine's worth. they always think
Yeah.
that they always think that they're not good enough for the divine feminine, that the divine feminine is too good for them, which is why one of the reasons why they run. It's
So
Uh, uh, Just
Yeah,
one question.
well,
So what does it mean? Like they don't do like they do their work, like they're working.
Spiritual.
Yeah. So they're doing. Do you mean like meditating, or it's just
Yeah.
like individually, like just being aware of what a twin flame is and
No,
working?
it's much deeper than that. I mean, you can know what a twin flame is and still not do anything about it. And this is why some people end up going through several dark nights of the soul, because
Mm,
they're not focusing on their spiritual gifts. They're not focusing on being in high vibration. They're still stuck in 3D programs, still doing like trying to fulfill their ego, right? Like I
mm,
should
uh-huh.
my ego to the max. I was constantly on social media all of the time. Okay. They don't I was always on social media because I wanted to be a blogger. I wanted to help people. But at the same time, then I ventured off into the wrong path and I was trying to be an influencer and oh, look at
oh yeah, I
me.
remember that phase.
It's weird because I didn't know what my path was. It was just like I was in my ego, right? And I'm like, oh, I need to get all the followers. And dude, I deleted over 3,500 followers from my personal Instagram account and
Really?
I made it private because I'm like, I don't know these people. This is my
Yeah.
Yeah.
personal. What do I need all these people like accounts following me for if I don't know them? You
That's true.
Yeah.
know,
You had a lot of people on Instagram. I remember that because
because that was the account that I was gonna make it like my blog or whatever. And then
yes.
no, I'm stopping this. This is going to be my personal account. And then I'm making my guided space. And that is going to be my account for
Hmm.
spirituality and twin
Yeah.
flames and stuff to help people. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can have as many followers on there. Whoever
Yeah.
wants. Personal, no. Like so that's the thing. Like my ego shed. My ego just died. I was like, none of this matters. I stopped drinking. I stopped partying. Not that I was a big partier, but it's just like meaningless shit. Excuse my language.
Go
Excuse
ahead.
my French.
Your French. Excuse your French.
None of it mattered to me anymore. And so I felt like I had to change my lifestyle. And I
Hmm.
don't know why, of course, because you're going through dark night of the soul and you're going through hell and you're like, I don't know what's happening to me. It actually happened exactly 1 year ago this month. You
Oh,
know,
happy
so
anniversary.
Mm.
From soul.
that was a hell. That was a
Yeah.
hellstorm. It's I'm proud of where I am today because of that. So I'm proud of like, you know, meeting my twin, even though it triggered my ego. I'm I'm happy that I reconnected with him and got to where I am today because of him. I honestly
Hmm.
I feel like I owe it up. I owe it to him. I owe it to God for putting us in each other's lives again. But
Mm.
I owe it to this twin flame journey to be where I am today. And that's something that I wish that a lot of my twin flame followers and clients would focus more on is the positivity of the journey instead of
Mhm.
like, oh, my ego and I hate him and I want to block him and
Yeah.
he's not coming into my life. Why is he ignoring me? Da, da, da. It's like, dude, focus on you. Focus
Yeah.
on
Mm-hmm.
raise your vibration. It doesn't matter. Like if they're not in your life right now, it's
Raise your
because
vibration. Yes, people, raise your vibration.
High
Yes.
vibes.
Yes. Thing gonna happen if you raise your vibration. That's for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just saw a comment right now. I haven't been looking at the messages, but someone just said, I keep blocking him.
Block him and focus on yourself.
Stop blocking me. Yeah,
What's happening today?
it's you can't do these low vibrational things on the journey. And I understand
Mhm.
like, when people they're so angry, they're so hurt, right? Hurt people, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
we want to lash out, we want to take it out on them. But this journey should be teaching you, if this is your true twin flame, it should be teaching you unconditional love. I remember
Mhm.
my first initial reaction. I was very upset. I was very angry with my twin. And then suddenly something shifted in me and I was like, why do I feel like I love this man that I barely know?
That's scary.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is really scary. And it's like, I forgive him. I forgive him because I know that this had to happen for me to grow. I know that I'm going to grow out of this, but it's just a matter of time, right? So it really all comes down to forgiveness, but it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people, and that has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with the traumas that they have to heal too.
Yeah. And so you work with them like to go through these traumas or the dark nights of the soul. Is that what part of your work?
Most people will contact me like either while they're in dark night of the soul or after, shortly after, because they realize, they met somebody, they're going through this like awesome relationship that they think they're going through. I mean, they are, but they think it's a normal relationship, and suddenly they get ghosted. The person runs away and they're going through hell. And then they see my content on TikTok. Like, I had a couple clients tell me that today. They're like, out of nowhere, I don't even know why I saw your content on TikTok, but you just popped up and everything resonated and I had to book a session with you. So I try to guide people the best way I can. Most of them, they want to know if it's a twin flame, right?
Yeah.
So okay, I'll do my best, but technically you have to go within and you have to know this for yourself, right? I can't answer that for you, especially because some of these can be very, very confusing. I had a girl who because I do Q&As on Instagram stories sometimes. And this girl says, I have 4 possible twin flame choices. How do I know?
Oh.
No, girl. I think it's no. 4. Come on.
4. Yeah.
4. And I was like, you must love hard, because I used to be boy crazy. I probably would have thought the same thing if I knew about things back in the day, Good thing I didn't. I would have thought everybody was my twin flame.
Right.
You have to go again in the definition of what is the twin flame, okay? It's your soul cut in 2. Not in 4 or 3.
Not in 4. Some people will tell me, like a friend of mine was like, oh, I've had several people that I thought was my twin flame. Can you have more than one? No, because it's literally, that's why they compare it to yin and yang, because it's literally like you're missing puzzle piece. It's your other half. So it's like the light and the dark, you know what I mean? That like just complement one another. And so if you like, this isn't a polyamorous relationship. If you were to bring someone else, you know what I'm saying? No. Like, this isn't a triangle.
Yeah.
It's a circle. It is complete.
Hi everyone. We had so much fun today talking with Jessica about twin flames. We hope that you enjoyed that conversation. Part 2 is as exciting and engaging and will be available on Monday. I wish you a great weekend.